How to stop your makeup from melting off your face. It's a very important question, and it's the one we're addressing today. I'm going to give you a bunch of tips, and we're starting right now. Hey, summer hens, welcome back. And if this is your first time here, welcome. I am Naomi. This is Summer Hen Beauty, where we talk all things beauty for people who are not spring chickens anymore, but we still want to look gorgeous. Today, we are addressing a question from Summer Hen Kathleen. She wants to know how to stop her makeup from melting off her face. Summer's coming up, and not only that, but Kathleen works with horses, so she's outside all day, walking them and riding them and brushing them and whatever else you do with horses. That's what Kathleen's up against. So she's got sun, she's got sweat, she's got oil. She has to do all of these things, but she still wants to look gorgeous. So I'm going to give you a bunch of tips today that are really practical, really easy, and they're going to keep your makeup where you put it. But first, in researching this, I have to tell you, I found some pretty crazy tips. I found one tip which involved icing your face first. You know, like when you're at the vanity in the morning and you're like brushing your teeth and you're putting your moisturizer on, you're taking an ice cube and just leaving it there for... No. I don't think that's going to work for Kathleen. I think maybe she's out doing like horse things at like 5 o'clock in the morning. So we're not going to do that. I learned about a cool K-beauty trick called jamsu, which is like Korean for submerge or dunk or something, in which you put an entire face full of all of your cream makeups and things, like your foundation and your bronzer and your highlighter and your contour and your concealer, and then you put a ton of powder on, any powder, setting powder, baby powder, as much as you can possibly stand, and then you submerge your face in ice water for between 15 and 30 seconds. Apparently, it gives you matte skin all day. Yeah, well, once we reach the summer hen stage in our life, all that powder makes those fine lines not quite so fine anymore. So we're going to avoid that for Kathleen, and we're going to come up with tips that you can use with, normal methods. All right, so I'm going to give you 5 makeup-related tips, but I'm going to have you make sure to stick around until the end as well, because I'm going to give you one extra bonus tip that has nothing to do with makeup and everything to do with how you're washing your face. It's a thing. Tip number 1, buy the right makeup. We're talking oil-free, we're talking waterproof, we're talking 24-hour. Here's what I want you thinking, okay? The more it looks and feels like ice cream, the more it acts like ice cream and melts in the sun. Here's some ways you can incorporate that. 1, move into powder formulations rather than creams or liquids whenever you can. For some of us, it works better than others. I have pretty dry skin, so I want to avoid too many powders. But if you can handle powders, they're a good choice. Another one is stains instead of creams or liquids for your blushes, for glosses, for lipstick. If you can use a stain, it goes into your skin rather than sits on your skin. And if it's in your skin, it can't melt off of it. So that's something to be aware of. I'm not a huge fan of Benefit as a rule, but I will say that their Benetint lip and cheek stain is absolutely unparalleled. They came out with the original color, which was called Benetint. Then they came out with like Posy Tint and Na-Na-Na Tint and something else tint. They're amazing. And what they do is they go right into your skin. Your skin absorbs the pigment. They're not going anywhere in the sun. Now, if you'd like a little interesting aside as to how this was created, legend has it that it was like the best friend or the sister or something of the founder of the company is a burlesque dancer, and had some concerns that certain parts of her anatomy were not as visible as she would like them to be from the stage. So she needed something that would add a bit of rosiness without coming off or melting off under hot lights. So if it's good enough for a burlesque dancer, it's good enough for you. Stains. Tip number 2, less is more. The less you put on your face, the less can melt off of your face. So as we move into summer, this is one of those places where you want to let your beautiful skin show through. Don't cake on the makeup. You don't have to. You're beautiful the way you are. So put your makeup where it has to be and only as much as you need to. There are ways to limit the amount of product that you're putting on your face. You can apply it with a beauty blender. You can apply it with a Clarisonic if you've got one of those with the foundation brush laying around. It's a nice investment, and they say it uses 1/3 of the product. Well, 1/3 of the product going on your face means there's a whole lot less product to come off your face, so that's something to be aware of as well. Wayne Goss even has a tip where he says instead of foundation at all, he puts on a moisturizer, some kind of luminizing lotion. It could be a luminizing primer, something like that. Sometimes just a lotion. And then pressed powder right in the spots where you need it and nowhere else. It gives you a surprising amount of coverage. So less is more. Eyeshadow, eyeliner, blush, lipstick, foundation, concealer. Less is more, baby. Tip number 3, primer. Primer for your foundation operates like primer for the paint on your walls. It makes it go on smoothly and you don't need to use as much of it. So, primer is fabulous and it is the warm, toasty girl's best friend. One thing I would say though is you don't want to use too much. Too much primer and it pills like a sweater on your face. So, not too much. It says a pea size amount. It means a pea size amount. And maybe aim on the small side of the peas, okay? Baby peas. Tip number 4, setting powder. Do you remember the other day when we talked about setting powder versus finishing powder? And we said that the handy way to remember which one's setting powder and what does it do is it sets your makeup down. Yeah, that's going to come in useful in the summer months. As always, we want to be a little bit aware of how much powder we're putting on our face. As I said earlier, fine lines become not so fine anymore when you dump a bunch of powder into them. So we want to just kiss just enough to keep your makeup where it is and no more, okay? We don't want to look like one of those old church ladies. Tip number 5, setting spray. Setting spray is like setting powder, except it's a spray. This is what the club girls use, okay? Those 21-year-olds in New York who are out partying under rave lights until like 4 in the morning. This is what they use to keep their makeup in place. Setting spray is something that you put on absolutely last after everything else. You give yourself a spray. Okay? You lock your makeup in place. And you can use it continually throughout the day. It was so scary the first time I tried it. I was like, I'm going to get all my makeup wet. No, it worked. You can just keep on using it throughout the day to refresh your face, give yourself a little bit of cooling. Sometimes setting sprays have cooling in them, which is pretty cool, especially once we reach the summer hen stage of our lives. And it's going to lock your makeup down and it's going to keep locking your makeup down. Options in the setting spray department are Urban Decay has I think it's called Stay All Night. Very, very good. It was the first one I bought. I'm testing out a new Smashbox one. I'm really looking forward to that one. It smells like coconuts. e.l.f., I think, NYX. NYX has both a dewy and a matte, which are pretty cool, depending on the finish you like. But whatever it is that you get, you basically just want something you're going to keep with you, that you can keep refreshing your look, and it's going to continue to set your makeup into space. Now, I promised you a bonus tip, something that occurs before you get to your vanity, or that weird bag of random cosmetics you have at the bottom of a drawer somewhere, and it's about washing your face. One thing you want to watch out for, especially as we move into the summer months, is anything that is going to strip your face of oil. That's going to be soaps, it's going to be cleansers, it's going to be toners. Anything that has a stripping effect, I'll tell you what happens when you do that. When you strip your skin of its natural oils, your skin freaks out and it says, oh my goodness, where's the oil? And it doubles down on production, okay? So the harsher the products that you use on your face at the cleansing or toning phase, the more likely your skin's going to increase oil later in the day. And this is true for dry girls too. So what's going to happen is you're going to strip all the oil out of your face. It's going to have its quiet freak out, during which you're going to put your makeup on. You're going to leave the house. Your skin is going to have figured out, oh my God, we need more oil. It's going to start doubling production right around the time that the sun is beating down on your face. And that is going to create an ice cream situation on your hands. So what you want to make sure you do is you want the gentlest, mildest, neutralist cleanser and toner that you can possibly get away with for your skin type. Mild, mild, mild. Summer hens, what's next? Later on this week, we have another Thrifty Thursday coming up. Another one of those YouTube made me buy it. I have been watching the lovely Toddy talk about a certain product for a long time now, and I decided that I was going to buy it and try it out. And on Friday, we have a Should I Buy It? Summer Hen Heather has made a request, so I bought it, and I'm going to try it. If you are new around these parts and you haven't yet subscribed, our little coop is growing and we would be so happy to have you. We are a bunch of women looking to get our grooves back. Coming up, we've got Thrifty Thursday, we've got Should I Buy It? We've got easy tutorials. We have a ton of fun stuff that can help you feel beautiful every single day. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today, Summer Hens. It's been wonderful to have you. I will see you tomorrow. Have a great day.